After a huge win away to City in the Premier League, to put Liverpool in further contention for their 20th title, confidence couldn't be higher for the Reds. However, in a dramatic twist, we have some big Liverpool news to share which could drastically affect our title chances going into the remainder of the season. We will go over this in today's video whilst diving into all the Liverpool news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. But first, Mikel Arteta said he would concede the Premier League title to Liverpool over my dead body, as he insisted Arsenal can still be crowned champions. The Gunners head to Nottingham Forest on Wednesday 11 points adrift of Liverpool following the Reds' weekend victory at Manchester City, a day after Arteta's side slumped to a 1-0 loss against West Ham at the Emirates, following the defeat to the Hammers, after which he criticised his players for failing to reach the standards required to end the club's 21-year wait for the title. Arteta conceded the championship race was no longer in his hands. But speaking on the eve of Arsenal's trip to third place Forest, the Spaniard said, "I'm not going to stop over my dead body. If I think that way, I'll go home. Mathematically, it's possible. You are there. You have to play every game. Suddenly, 3 days ago, we could close the gap to 5 points. It doesn't matter. We have to continue to go. The difficulty is higher than it was, but if you want to win the Premier League, you're going to have to do something special. You're probably going to have to do something that nobody else has done in the history of the Premier League." Arsenal's bid to win the title has been derailed by a series of injuries, with Kai Havertz and Gabriel Jesus out for the season. Bukayo Saka is due to return next month, having been sidelined since December, while Gabriel Martinelli is also currently unavailable. Captain Martin Odegaard missed 12 games with an ankle injury earlier in the campaign, while Arsenal have also battled suspensions. 5 players have been sent off in their 26 league games so far. The Gunners have been Liverpool's closest challengers this season and have progressed to the last 16 of the Champions League, but Arteta believes his side could easily have been dumped out of Europe and left battling in mid-table. He continued, "If somebody tells you at the start of the season, by this time, you have played 5 times with a red card over half an hour in each of those games, and you have lost this amount of players, what's the bet? You are in the middle of the table at least, and you are out of the Champions League." That's not the situation, so that tells you the resilience, the resources, the ambition that the team has, every individual has, and that has probably been one of the proudest moments in my time to work. It was a very disappointing weekend. In the previous 15 games, we have won 10 and drawn 5. We have been extremely consistent for the last 3.5 months, considering everything that we've been through, and we have generated that momentum. When you are trying to build that momentum and we're putting so much into it, especially with the circumstances that we have, the defeat against West Ham was a very hard one to take. On top of that, Liverpool win. But the reality is that there's so many games to play and you have to get back to it. You're going to have to set a certain amount of numbers to win this league. And we're going to have to hit that number if we're going to have any chance of doing that, but we're certainly going to continue to try. Now, in some huge news ahead of our title charge, Connor Bradley remains an absentee for Liverpool as they prepare for the visit of Newcastle, while Arne Slot gave a brief update on Alexis Mac Allister's black eye. Mac Allister shared a photo of himself on social media following Liverpool's 2-0 win at Man City, sporting a black eye and a swollen cheek. It came after a collision with Omar Marmoush that required the midfielder to receive treatment on the touchline, but was never expected to rule him out of contention. Still, Slot was questioned on the issue in his pre-Newcastle press conference on Tuesday, asked whether it could make him a doubt. "I think he will be alright, he will train with us today," he told reporters. That led the head coach to an update on right-back Bradley, who missed the victory over Man City, having picked up a hamstring injury in the 2-2 draw with Aston Villa. "Connor doesn't train, he will be out for a few weeks. I cannot tell you exactly how many," Slot explained. "It's clear he went off with a muscle injury, it's going to take a while until he's back." Bradley's injury leaves Liverpool with only one specialist right back in Trent Alexander-Arnold, who was substituted late on at the Etihad after vocal criticism from Slot over jogging back to stop a Man City counter. Alexander-Arnold will keep his place for the clash with Newcastle, of course, with no indication of an issue with Slot beyond that moment. Jarell Quansah is de facto second choice with both Bradley and Joe Gomez fit, though the latter's own hamstring injury means Quansah is also needed as backup at centre-back. Slot is unlikely to make many changes for the 8:15 p.m. kickoff on Wednesday, but he could return to a more orthodox setup, having fielded 2 number 10s and no striker in the last game. Diogo Jota should be available, while Cody Gakpo could come back into contention. With Darwin Núñez and Federico Chiesa other options, albeit out of favour ones, what do you make of this? Let me know down below. Finally, Mo Salah's odds of winning the Ballon d'Or will increase if Liverpool win trophies, and Arne Slot joked that it'd be bad news for the one who has to pay him. Salah has come to the fore of the Ballon d'Or conversations during a campaign that has seen him score 30 and assist 21 in 38 games for the title favourites. Liverpool are top of the Premier League and widely acknowledged as champions-elect, while they are also in the final of the Carabao Cup and quarter-finals of the Champions League, having topped the league phase. Whether right or wrong, team prizes enhance a player's chances of winning individual honours, and Slot accepts that fact. It's a good thing that Mo is in the discussion, because it means he does well, and it means we are doing well, he said on Tuesday. For him to stay in that discussion, he should bring in the same performances as he's done for 7 or 8 months now. But I think in general, someone who wins the Ballon d'Or needs to win something as well. So it's a great challenge that is in front of us, but also in front of him. What I liked a lot is that he takes this challenge not only by scoring a big goal and a great assist against City, but he also wanted the team to win because his defensive work rate, especially in the second half, was outstanding. That is, I think, what it takes for us to have a chance of winning something. If we as a team can win something, he will have a far better chance to win an individual prize like the Ballon d'Or. Slot's pre-Newcastle press conference was dominated by questions following the usual Sky Sports narratives, which included comparisons between Salah and the peak output of Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. It's so difficult to compare players with each other, and it's not fair to anyone, Slot replied when asked if Salah's current level was matching the best of those two players. I think Mo has his own career, and I think Mo has been outstanding. Messi and Ronaldo both didn't play the Premier League at their peak. I don't want to bring them down because these two players are incredible, but that makes the comparison maybe even more difficult. So Mo has had some outstanding seasons here at Liverpool, and we hope he can continue this for a longer period of time. But to do that, he first has to extend his contract, of course. As the head coach mentioned, Salah is enjoying arguably the best season of his career while playing out what currently stands as the final months of his time at Liverpool. The club remain in talks with his representative Rami Abbas Issa, but with no resolution in sight, and Slot joked that Ballon d'Or level form could complicate the matter for Fenway Sports Group.
You can look at that in both ways, he said. You can say the better he does, the more expensive he might become, and if we'd do much worse, we would have second thoughts that we want to extend his contract. I think for everyone, it's the best that he brings in the performances that he does now. Maybe only for the one who has to pay him, it's not the best. For everyone else, it's the best, because if you want to play at this club, you need to be at his level. Otherwise, probably you are almost useless to play at this club, because we only need players that are at the top of their game, because this is one of the best clubs or the best club in the world to play for. So he needs to have these performances for him to play here, and hopefully to extend here. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. Please like the video and subscribe for daily Liverpool content.